Greetings, you wonderful warriors of the broken sword. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Nick.
And we are the Goslings, a digital speakeasy of free thinkers, Christian authors, explorers of the esoterica, and general purveyors of buffoonery.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Oh, yeah. We don't take ourselves seriously around here.
And neither should you. We hope everyone has had a fantastic week. I know we just were with you guys on Thursday. We are back on Sunday with another amazing interview that we will get to in just a moment.
Indeed, we will. First, I want to give a shout out in the chat. We've got Jay Reese. Good evening, Jay Reese.
Hooty hoo indeed, Jay.
We got Mike Fisher.
What's up, Mike?
Good evening, sir. Great to see your name. We'll be talking about what Mike Fisher does here in a second. Pat Riot. Pat Riot is in the chat too. Patriot Pat Riot. Always good to see you. And Melissa Rice.
Oh, what's up, Mel?
Awesome.
Nice to see you.
Greetings, shalom, and blessings to you as well. Glad you guys are here.
Shelly Baggs is also joining us from Montana.
Shelly Boggs. Yep. Shelly Boggs.
Am I getting my my state abbreviations correct?
That is Montana, correct.
Ding, 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 ding,
Hey,
ding.
man, you know what? Maybe that's the next quiz on the Illuminati after party.
Please don't. It'd be the worst.
Nah, it'll be something right up your alley. Right up your alley. Carol White, good evening. Glad you're here. Let's we got a nice group. Let's go ahead and do the toast. Absolutely. I think we have established a quorum. Let us begin with the official. Let's do the ceremony.
Absolutely. All right. You want me to lead this time?
Yeah, you lead this time.
All right. Grab your drinking vessels, and hopefully they are filled with your favorite libations, and follow along. Take up the broken sword of your father,
and strike down the darkness.
Amen.
This would be so much better with music, guys. Yeah. Restream. We use Restream. And Restream, I hope you're listening right now. Your platform currently sucks. Because the music that we typically have available is not available to us. I don't know what you're doing, but you screwed us at the last second. We're paying you a lot of money for the streaming platform, and your platform currently sucks.
Yeah.
Because you're adding things, you're taking things away, you're not communicating with people as to why or when you're doing any of these things. You need to get it together.
Yeah. We
StreamYard is your competitor, and they're just as
looking pretty good right now.
They're looking good. They're US based, and I think they're US based. And I think they might be cheaper. Just saying.
Yeah.
Step up your games, Restream.
Yep. Tell Zelensky.
Yeah.
Someone tells Zelensky that we tried adding in the music and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
That's why we're a little late today.
Sorry about that, guys. But I'm glad you're here.
Yes.
Let's do the rest of our obligatories. I mean,
absolutely.
If you guys are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, we would love it if you would subscribe. I mean, if you can take up the broken sword of your finger and strike down the subscribe button. Also, flick that bell.
That's right. Smack that bell. Smack it like it owes you money. Keep your YouTube pimp hand strong. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bell?
Remember, yes, last time I got Wayne Brady and Tom Brady mixed up. I didn't know the cultural reference.
It's the whitest thing. Have I ever showed you that skit?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm culturally illiterate. I don't know any of this.
I know what we're doing over social.
I was homeschooled. I don't know any of these things.
Yeah. Eat your algorithm, Dave. Eat your algorithm. Dude, that's gonna be so much funnier. I had no idea that Nick had never seen that Dave Chappelle show.
No, I haven't seen that
Chappelle show skit. I'm gonna show that to him tonight, and it's gonna be glorious.
That's what we'll do is we eat sushi.
Yeah.
All right. And if you have subscribed already, first of all, thank you. Really appreciate that. And if you can help by hitting the like button, hit the like button, guys, in the chat. Hit the like button. That really, really helps. Costs you nothing. Takes a second and doesn't take you away from the video at all. That would help tremendously. First up in our line of sponsorships, I'm going to make this one quick so I can do this one.
Yeah.
These are the Kothon Spartan mug. As you guys know, the Kothon is the mug that the Spartans drank out of. This is the closest that we know of. This is a replica of the Kothon, closest that we know of. Joel Cherico and his team up at ChericoPottery.com made these in collaboration. Handcrafted, handmade, hand-painted all of these mugs. And designed them in collaboration with Stephen Pressfield, author of Gates of Fire.
Yes.
You should definitely check him out. Go to ChericoPottery.com. Drink like a man. Get yourself a Kothon.
That's right. And when you have finished wiping your libation from your manly pate of hirsute facial covering, known as your beard.
I love
then-
manly pate. I love manly pate. That's so good.
I think I originally heard it in reference to like one's chest hair. So if that doesn't paint a picture, I don't know what does. But you can take care of said beard and skin with Jardani Jovanovic. JardaniJovanovic.com. That is the website. Go there and check them out. Hair and skincare products made by real men for real men. You can see them on display behind us. Leonidas is protecting them. You can see a little bronze statue right there.
Yeah.
He's keeping guard over them.
Leo.
And Mike Fisher is the owner and proprietor of Jardani Jovanovic. He is also a dear friend of the channel, and he always takes care of us. I shower daily just so I can use Jardani Jovanovic products. Or as I like to say, give 007 a run for his money. Awaken your inner John Wick.
There you go.
Be as sexy as you are deadly with JardaniJovanovic.com.
That's so good. It's so good. And want to give a shout out to our Spartan level patron.
Yes.
And we want to encourage you guys to go on Instagram, go to @GossHogLifts. Go to @GossHogLifts for fitness content that inspires young men. It's really geared towards young men. Share it with the young men in your lives. Fitness content that inspires young men to reclaim their identity in a generation of darkness. Christian young man creating a lot of really good, wholesome, inspiring content there.
Yeah.
Go to @GossHogLifts and check it out.
Yeah.
And that's it for our obligatories.
We are done. We are done
Dunzo.
before 8 minutes. We had a hilarious comment that'll be on the troll roast at the end of the month.
Oh, yeah?
There was a really funny one. Oh, yeah. Or from earlier this week where they were like, ads are ads. Just
Oh, yeah.
keep it short and cut the cuteness.
Oh, yeah. I responded to that.
I saw that. My response was, nah, dog. We like to have fun.
Yeah, I was like, no. If you don't like the ads, sign up for YouTube Premium.
Or skip forward 10 minutes and don't watch us live.
Or don't be lazy.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the cuteness, hey, we can't help it.
Yeah.
We can't help it. I was born this way.
Yeah. I think it's adorable that that somebody else on the internet thinks I'm cute.
Oh, man, I can't wait to roast that one. We got a lot of good ones. This is so awkward without music. Gosh, dang, this is so weird, guys. I am so sorry. I wish we had music for you tonight. That's okay. We have a great interview for you tonight.
Yeah.
We had back on the show Micah Turnbow, the man who sees angels. He has just released his new book, The Invitation. We had a wonderful conversation with him.
Yeah.
Most of it you're going to see here tonight. There is an exclusive portion as well over on our Patreon. We'll talk about the Patreon later.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys know who Micah Turnbow is.
Yeah.
Surely you know. If you haven't, watch this interview and then go back and watch the first one. I'm not going to say watch the first one first.
Yeah.
I
Stay
want you to
here.
watch this. Yeah. Sit.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't leave.
Yeah.
You're already here.
Yeah. Definitely.
What are you gonna leave one steakhouse to go to another steakhouse?
No. After you've already ordered your steak, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Where's the sense in that?
Yeah, I think that's it. Anything else before we play our interview with Micah, the wonderful Micah Turnbow? I love that guy so much.
Mike says, hey, Nick, you have the tough guy look with that facial hair and the Black Goslings logo t-shirt.
Tough guy. Never been accused of that.
Yeah, see, I thought
That's
I was
nice.
doing well with like my
Nice. Thank you, Mike.
honey badger t-shirt.
I've been using the I've actually been using the
But Nick's
oil.
got me beat.
I've been using the oil, and it's working.
Yeah.
It's working for me. Yeah. I like it.
I mean, yeah, it's
When I just
showing
started
up-
the growing process, like what, a month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Saying it grows slow on me, right? So we're gonna give it the whole summer,
Mm-hmm.
and then after Labor Day,
Yeah.
we're gonna make the decision: should I keep it or should I shave it off? And I'm really liking it. It's patchy. I'm like, but I can envision what it could be
Mm-hmm.
if I just give it enough time. But I'm gonna let you guys make that decision for me, based on how it looks after Labor Day.
Weren't we going to do a Patreon poll?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do Patreon poll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And,
if you want to weigh in on that, cast your vote.
Mm-hmm.
Sign up at the Patreon, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk
Move
about
on.
it later. Yeah, Nick kind of looks like you almost got like a early. It's like you're a pirate who has just quit the Royal Navy. It's
So
like
I'm in transition from sailor to pirate.
Mhm.
I'm in. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I had some wicked chops at first. It was just chops.
Yeah.
And
now it's
then-
kind of connected
Yeah,
together.
I had this, and then it was chops, and now they're like starting to grow slowly towards each other.
Mhm.
It'll get there.
Yeah.
It'll get there.
Yeah.
Soon.
We're gonna get him a tricorn hat.
I'll have my younger brother at least matched, hopefully, someday. I know you guys are like, no way. Jonathan's your younger brother. I know you guys are like, no way. That's true. That is
I just
true.
look older. Yeah. I just feel
You have the
older.
grumpiness of an older man.
Yeah. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, you're the get off my lawn guy.
Man, get off my lawn with your stupid music. I can't even hear it. I don't like it.
It's not bad. Not a bad impression.
Yeah. You gotta do the side snarl. So
Oh yeah, Jay Reese says no. He just looks like Conan O'Brien with a beard.
Nick has embraced his Conan O'Brien.
Well, we got two Conans. Remember we talked about this a while
we're
back.
Conan and Conan. We're
Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, or Librarian.
I'm Conan the Librarian, or Conan the Barbarian and Conan O'Brien.
Conan and Conan.
Conan and Conan.
You know what? We missed the boat on the channel. I don't know what we were
We
thinking.
should have named it Conan and Conan.
We're so dumb, you know.
Oh, man.
Mike asks, "Where's your Harley?" I think. I think that's
Me?
what-
I know. I'm not getting on a bike.
dude. I'll
No,
tell
man.
you.
No, that's a recipe for.
I'm not a big fan of Harleys. I mean, Harleys are great, but whatever. But I actually
Not anymore. They're made in China now, or at least some of them are.
Oh, really.
Yeah, they outsourced.
I like the Indian motorcycles a lot, but I recently found an older Victory Highball.
Oh, those are cool.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I could swing it. I just gotta offload some.
Mike. You know,
some
you said
pew-pews.
that tough guy look in the black shirt with the facial hair growing now. You know, you should see how I pull that off in a Toyota Corolla. Yeah,
with his leather jacket.
yeah.
You know?
And my old man sunglasses that go over my regular glasses.
The big ones.
Yeah.
Like the kind you get from the optometrist after
Yeah.
they're dilated.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
look like one of those rebel soldiers on Hoth.
With the glasses, like the sunglasses that keep your eyes from like snow blindness.
Yeah,
Arctic blindness.
yeah, yeah. It's great.
Just
All
sitting there. Move the fleet away from the Death Star. Wrong movie, wrong character, wrong battle. I know. Trust me, I know. It's just funny. Let's see. Real quick, we'll go through the rest of the chat here.
Sure.
Let's see.
Old Suzuki's rock.
Yeah. Overbuilt says, dude, I got an idea. Shave your head and change your name to Sir Mr. Clean Stud Muffin Man. Jay says I look like Noah. That actually kind of was like a look that I was going for when I first started shaving my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Russell Crowe. No.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Fighting around the world.
Fighting.
Fighting.
We have, you know what? We have some Australians in the chat. I saw one earlier.
Nice.
Where is it? Here we go. Let's see. God So Rules. Hi from
Nice.
Australia.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Glad you're here. And also, who else we got? Warren David said hello. Wanted to say hi. And
Janine Wernick.
yeah.
Scroll down. We got a couple more in there.
Overbuilt.
Suzuki GS is in the chat.
Dash Rendar's in the chat.
Dash, nice.
Good evening.
Yeah.
And I think we're caught up.
Okay.
All
cool.
right.
Off we go. Micah Turnbow.
Here we go.
Part
Here's
1.
Micah Turnbow.
Your YouTube feed is crap. Stop wasting your time watching bot-boosted shills and self-appointed gurus cloying for your attention. Instead, join the Goslings interview live stream and podcast. The Goslings, a dark-lit digital speakeasy of free thinkers. A super chat of radical truth-seeking wizards who eat trolls for second breakfast. Topics that'll make your mama's hair stand on end. Ideas that'll make your pastor's knees knock. Guests that will illuminate the hidden chambers of your mind. And interviews that strike down the darkness. Welcome to the Goslings.
All right. Micah Turnbow. with the Goslings once again.
Woo-hoo!
We are so excited to have you back. It's always good to see you.
Be here. Mm-hmm.
And we just got finished wrapping up a 30-minute Patreon exclusive where we got to talk about all the stuff that we can't talk about in this public portion,
Right,
you know,
right.
without getting in lots of trouble. But yeah, but you know, we wanted to. We're so excited to have you back, and we're very excited about your book, The Invitation.
Yes.
Tell us about your book.
Oh, finally, guys. Finally.
Yeah, right. Hey, we're novelists. We know the feeling, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, it's so wonderful. I had a really good team to help me get this thing out, because I had been working on it, and I'm a writer, so I'm always writing, but like I just did not want to like organize it.
Yeah, tell me about
you
it.
know,
Right?
so, but I have a really good team, and my best friend, he did the book cover of it. So I told him, you know, I was like, I need a book cover. He's like, you know what? And I described it to him, and he said, oh, I think I got something. I think I got something. And so he worked on it, and I was like, this is amazing, you know. But I'm really excited about it. Finally, there's something out there for people to read, and we launched it at the conference.
Nice.
And we did a little soft launch launch on social media, but it's amazing. It feels great. It feels great to have it out there.
That's awesome. I bet
It does, doesn't it? Yeah,
it's
like being able to go to the bathroom for, you know, finally after like
being able to go to the bathroom.
I mean, honestly, you know, and you know, kudos to you, Micah, honestly, because a lot of people start books, a lot, you know, even if they are well seasoned with writing a blog, you know, because you have your Behold Wonder website where you post a bunch of blogs, and that builds up a lot of really good writing muscle, but it takes a different kind of muscle to finish a book. You know,
different kind of muscle. And you know, there were options. There were plenty of options to get, you know, which book I wanted out. You know, there's so many series I've been working on: Follow Lucifer, the Ice Dragon, all these, you know, the Archangel series. So many series that I just. But I was just like, I don't know which one to do. And so my pastor came up with this idea. He's like, why don't you just do like an overview of your life? Start with your childhood, and you know, and then your struggles, and then, you know, how your gift works, and then where you are today. And I thought, that's a great idea. You know, so that was our strategy. So it's literally just a overview of my life.
Okay.
And fun childhood stories, because people ask me all the time, what was your childhood like, you know, growing up as a kid? And I put those chapters in the book. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and if people who are watching want a taste of that, in our last interview with you, Micah, we talked about a lot of the things that you saw and experienced as a child. This first started happening, and it's a lot of fun. Everyone should go back and like pause this video, go back and watch it right now, and then come back and continue.
Hit that pause button.
And on your way back, stop at Amazon, get yourself a copy of The Invitation, and then come back to the video.
Yes. Yeah, it's amazing. I even on our first session of the conference, we opened it up to families and children. So we made the first session family oriented. So we had kids. The room was packed with children, and so I just told stories of when I was a kid, you know, with my siblings, and then my parents, and the, you know, cool, crazy ones of talking Transformers, all these kind of things, you know. And it was just so adorable watching their eyes just all light up and be all like, you know, and after it's over, they were like, I want to come back for the rest of the conference, you know. And it was so neat. It's like, I'm up there just talking, you know, and, you know, not all the time, even when I'm up there teaching or preaching, am I aware of like what's going on around me or in the room in the spiritual realm, because I'm so like in the moment of talking. But the kids, so many children came up to me or told their parents, so many, that they saw a 10-foot me behind me, and it's the angel, the guardian angel. And they said his hair was bright and it was like yours, but he had on a rainbow bright colored shirt. and he was pacing with you. You would walk and he would walk and he would walk and you would stare at him. And then, did you see him, Mr. Micah? And I'm like, no, but I know he was there.
Wow, that's
That's
awesome.
Wow,
man.
how cool is that?
Yeah, it was cool. Kids saw Jesus for the first time.
Wow.
Had visions of Jesus, and one little girl, her name was Hope, and she called them 6-wing angels because she didn't know that they were seraphim.
Yeah.
But she drew them out, and she said they had 6 wings. Some had 6 wings, some had 8 wings, some had 9 wings. And what were they? And I was like, okay, well, the 6 wings are seraphim, and I took open the Bible to Isaiah 6 real quick, and I pointed it out, and so it was just fun to interact with the kids after all that happened.
Yeah, that's neat.
That's awesome. What is the conference in? You said it's in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, Cincinnati, Ohio. It was May. It was the end of May. Lord, I'm terrible with dates. May 26th, 7th, 28th. May 26th to the 28th, maybe. And it was at our church, Vineyard Church Northwest.
Okay.
And so it was called the Friends of God Conference.
Cool.
And actually, like, people flew in, and there were people who purchased like digital passes and stuff like that. So we had people from all over watch it, and it was powerful, just powerful.
Cool.
Does that happen every year?
Well, it was our first, so we're trying to decide if we wanted to be every year or every other year.
Yeah.
It's hard running a conference in a school at the same time, as we discovered. But the Lord pours grace on us, and so we were like, we'll just see. I mean, if we'll do it again, next year, or if we'll do it on the off year when we don't have a 9-month school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tell people about your school.
Yeah. So School of Prophetic Ministry is it's a 9-month class, intensive class. We have online options and we have in-person options, and where I literally take them through the process from the very beginning of meditating on scripture, intimacy with Jesus, all the way into topics of the supernatural, demons, angels, what's heaven like, all the cool stuff. And then we end with the section called Declare. So it's actually done in three trimesters. Yeah, trimesters. Behold, intimacy with God. Focusing on becoming like Jesus, understanding the supernatural, and declare, when you prophesy the things you've seen and you've heard. The spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus. And so we are developing testimony in that 9 months, these places of encounter, inside the students, and then they can't help but prophesy out of the overflow of their heart.
Oh,
so it's really fun. Mm-hmm.
How long have you been doing that?
Ooh, let's see. I want to say 6 years. About 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. There's been different variations of it. We finally had a groove that we're like, okay, this is what we wanted to look like, but we had to kind of add things, subtract things, do a whole bunch of stuff, to get it successful and continue to run like an oiled machine.
Yeah.
And now we finally found it, and we're like, this is what it's going to look like. And so we're excited about it.
It usually takes a couple tries to do a shakedown cruise,
Yeah.
Dude, and it was 6 years. It took us a while because when you're training prophets, it's kind of hard.
I bet. Yeah.
Dude, it's like herding cats sometimes. You get all kinds of people coming in who think they know stuff, and you gotta break things down. Like, I had people come in straight up and tell me, I'm a prophet. I already know all this. God has ordained me to pray. I said, well, that's great.
Okay. And yet you're here.
Yeah, you're here learning. So
yes, I don't know. I've been in a couple writers groups, and it's like trying to herd cats or herd grasshoppers.
Yeah, grasshoppers. I like that one.
Every time you go, they bing.
Yeah. I was in church this morning, and I was thinking about this. Like, what is the appeal of the prophets in Scripture? It's not their personality. There's no personality.
Yeah, they're like writers.
Yeah, it's just the fact that they were willing to be the only person saying what needs to be said. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, their personalities can be. It's so funny. One of the topics we talk on in the class is overcoming rejection, and one of the hardest things for prophets to find deliverance and healing from is preemptive rejection. It's the assumption.
Oh yeah.
Where they assume that they don't like me. Oh, when they have their antennas up and they say, oh, that person looked at me that way. Oh, that person sighed when I said this. Oh, they got a Jezebel spirit. Prophets who are immature throw out Jezebel spirits onto anything that moves, you know, and that's how you know, like, okay, you're wounded. So one of the things we focus on is healing wounded prophets or prophetic voices, because, you know, the reason why prophecy is so attacked, and I tell them, I said, the reason why the prophetic is so attacked is because it reveals God's heart. It literally reveals God's heart, how he thinks, how he feels. It resets people back to loving Jesus again. And Satan cannot have that. So he attacks the prophetic ministry and gets us so isolated. And I tell them, I said, look, prophet, prophetess, your gift, whether you like it or not, is for people. And it's to encourage people. It's not for you to be a prophet to yourself. It is so you can encourage people. But if you're going to do that, you have to be willing to be loved by an imperfect community.
Yeah.
No matter what, there is no perfect community, and prophets are looking for perfect communities. You're not going to get a perfect community until Jesus splits the sky, sits on his throne, and everything, boom. Then we'll talk about that. But right now, you're dealing with a lot of spots and blemishes.
Yeah.
You know, so you need to get some of that Clorox. You got to help people. Spot and blemishes out, and you got to love people. You know, but that's what I tell them.
The assumption of rejection sounds like every interaction with every girl I've ever come across in my life. Maybe I'm a prophet, Micah. Maybe that's the answer. You've just solved something that 8 years of therapy couldn't.
I sure did. Oh man, here we go.
Doing the Lord's work.
There you have it. There you have it.
Hey, real quick, before, because Nick probably has a bunch of questions, but I just want to check. So we know that the invitation is out on Amazon, and I'm sorry we don't have a copy. I ordered one yesterday thinking I could expedite shipping, but it didn't. It's going to get here tomorrow, so I apologize. The cover looks beautiful, by the way. I like, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's a cool vector art style cover.
It's neat. So I know that people can get the invitation on Amazon. So one question would be, if there's anywhere better for somebody to get it than Amazon, where's that? And then my second question would be, your prophetic ministry school that you do, is that remote, or do people need to go to Cincinnati in order to take the course?
You can do both. So for the prophetic school, I mean, if you're in the area, by all means, we've had people move here to take it, but we do offer online options.
Cool.
So we offer an online school, so they'll get into a group. They're leaders that I've trained, and they get the teaching, the worship, everything. They get everything. And you get to grow in a community with an online group. We've had people from Germany, South Africa, Kenya, all over, do it. Or you could do a self-guided course, like if that's on your own pace.
Yeah.
We've had people do that too. Where they get the videos, the teachings, the worship parts. You just don't get the community aspect. But we've had churches do a self-guided course with their whole church. That's a thing as well, where we had a church in Colorado that did that. They purchased the self-guided course, and then their church just did it as a whole. They projected it up, and
that's awesome, because Colorado really needs it. They've imported every fruit and nut from California over there for the past 30 years, and it's such a beautiful state. And like,
oh my gosh, it is beautiful.
Yeah,
Colorado is gorgeous.
And the natives hate it, and so like, you're doing the Lord's work in Colorado.
Amen.
Well, what about the books?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and the books. What about the books? Where else can people, besides Amazon? Is there another place they can get the invitation?
So, we have a Kindle version. I don't know. I know we can get it on Amazon, but I don't know where else you can get it.
Okay, that's great. Keep it simple. That's great.
That's a great question. I'll have to ask my team. Is there another place they can get the book?
I couldn't find it. I went to your website, and then I looked around. I didn't see another place other than Amazon.
Okay.
So, which is nice and simple. That's kind of how we do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's how we do it too.
Yeah. Too. Because
I'm down for that. That's absolutely the best way.
Keep it simple. You know what I mean? And it reaches a massive market.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and it's easy for other people to get. That's the thing. Like, it's cool to have a good option is to have like the ability to purchase signed copies through your website, like Gary
Yeah.
Wayne does that, you know.
Uh-huh.
But when it comes to like just accessibility, maximizing your efforts, Amazon for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's solid move.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry, Nick.
No, you're good. All right. Got a question for you.
Yes.
A lot of the people who watch our channel
Mhm.
like to discuss, sometimes debate, and certainly make comments
Mm.
about the end times.
Oh.
And many of which, including myself, believe that we are in the midst of the end times right now
Mm.
and somewhere in Revelation. But I
Mm.
would like to get your very unique opinion on that. Where are
Yeah.
we in the timeline of God's story? Are we in the end times? If so, like where do you think in Revelation are we?
Yeah. It's so funny. I get asked that question, a lot from people. And I tell them this, I say, the Lord he wants to be seen and glorified in everything. And one of the top places that we're going to see in these approach of the end times is the arts, movies, cartoons, video games, music, all of those things, because when God created the universe, he did it in a form of art. He did it in a form of art. He spoke, he used his words. And then one of my favorite verses that talks about God and how he is Zephaniah 3:17, where it says he will rejoice over you with singing, he will dance over you. God is an artist. That's a part of who he is. And so I tell people, I say, the gift of prophecy, in Acts 2:17, where it says, in the last days, God pour out his spirit on all flesh, sons and daughters will prophesy. We're seeing those things happen, but we're seeing them happen in a unique way that's really going to leave an impact through the arts. So I encourage people I've seen future events of where rave parties, or I think that's what they're called, rave parties, where there's a guy there and he's playing this rave music, and the glory of God fills the room. And people get caught up into heaven, and he's playing this music, and they get saved like that.
Wow. Interesting.
And I remember watching this, and I said to the angel, and I said, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "This is amazing." And then he said, "This is also the spirit of prophecy." So this is also the spirit of prophecy. And he said the church has got to get ready for these creative expressions of prophetic movement, because that's what's going to really heighten the sense of end times. So what's happening in the end times is the arts are coming back, and they're going to be anointed and powerful. Yes, it is. It is.
Here we are.
Let's roll. Yeah, let's do it.
That's right, man.
That's cool.
That's right.
That's encouraging.
Yes.
It's inspiring to hear that. And thank you for saying that, because I'm a writer. I write fiction. I'm actually working on my first nonfiction, but I'm like, I'm looking, look around, and it's just like, it's so disparaging.
Yeah.
Like, why am I even bothering? Everything's just going down. It's just one giant nosedive into oblivion. Like, what could I possibly do that could help anybody at all? So I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah,
it's good to hear that.
Absolutely. And even I tell people, even in the video game world, like I saw video game ideas, and the Lord took me to heaven one time, and I saw video game ideas. It was like a hologram that was there, just this hologram, and there were people talking with the Lord Jesus on how to get these ideas and concepts into the earth for people to grab. These were like legit games that were funded, and those graphics, all of that stuff. And I looked at after this encounter, I looked at the Holy Spirit, and I said, "Is this really going to happen?" I said, "Is this really, really going to happen?" And then he smiled, and he looked at me. He said, "The enemy always," he says, I love this. He said, "The enemy always attacks what is valuable."
Yes. A thief does not come to an empty home.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He
Yeah.
always attacks it. And he said, so Micah, what are people consuming constantly? I said, video games. He said, exactly. He said, Jesus is going to take that by storm. He's going to get that.
Nice.
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh, and so the Holy Spirit said, so now that you know, he says, now you got to pray. He said, you got to pray and agree with me, that I would continue to speak to these guys who have these people who have these ideas of video games and prophesy to them. When you meet someone who says, I want to do a video game for Jesus, you prophesy to them. You tell them what's going on in heaven, Micah, so they can be encouraged.
When was that?
Oh, I would say, let me think. 2009 or 10, 2009.
Yeah. That
2009.
makes, there were some games that, there's always that argument about whether or not games are art,
Mhm,
but there are some. It's like, man, if you want to see like real art in games on
Yeah.
multiple levels,
Yeah.
play Okami,
Oh, yeah.
play
Mhm.
like the first 2 or 3 Tomb Raider games,
Mhm,
play like and art beyond just like the visual, but
Yeah.
the storytelling aspect, the
Mhm,
mood building,
mhm.
this like multi-dimensional way, play
Yes.
Intelligent Cube, play Thief
Yes.
the Dark Project,
Yes.
I mean Red Dead Redemption. Like there are
Mhm.
games out there that like really are, I mean, I'm not gonna say that I cried when I played Okami, but I'm
Mhm.
not gonna say I didn't cry when I played Okami.
Hey,
Understood.
I get emotional in video games too. Sometimes I'm like, wow, that was really great.
Yeah, because there's some really it's just like movies. I mean, there's some really
Yes.
powerful beauty that goes into that
Yes.
stuff,
Mhm.
and so like it's a viable arena, I guess is what
Yes.
I'm saying.
Yes.
So
Yes.
and it always gets overlooked.
Mhm.
So
It does. It does.
Your turn.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I want to make sure Nick didn't have a follow-up question because I tend
I
to
love
just
how you guys do that. Your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we kind of have to, or I'll just blather the whole time. So I wanted to ask you, you see a lot of different types of angels.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
then there are probably critics out there who would say like, well, the Bible only describes the angels as being like these 3 or 4 versions or types. They either appear
Mhm.
as humans,
Mhm.
or they appear as the cherubim, or they
Mhm.
appear as the seraphim, or the fiery wheels, the thrones.
Yeah.
So but you see a bunch of different other types. What
Yeah.
would you say to somebody that's pretty like locked in on like
Mhm.
a literalist opinion of like the Bible and what it describes as angels versus
Sure.
what you see?
That's a very good question. There are several times when they are described as men and, in human form. And we know that they can appear as weird beast forms. And you got the
Yep.
4 living creatures and such. But angels, now this is what some people don't seem to really think about. An angel actually isn't describing a being or what a being looks like. It's describing what it is doing.
Messenger.
Yes, exactly. So it's like saying you're an author, but it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that what doesn't describe what you look like. It describes what you do.
That's
And
a
so
cool
angels, so when people say what angels look like, well, they always look like this. It's actually, we really don't quite know fully what they look like or where they're from or how they act all the time, other than we have some strange things in Genesis 6, and then we have some strange beings throughout the Old Testament prophets and their encounters. But I tell them this, if God is so big, and he is so big, and he's a creator, and he's made the heavens and the earth, and he calls himself Lord of the hosts, and when that word host actually means just armies or creatures, which is quite amazing, then I start to ask the question then, if humans, us, are able to continue to grow and evolve, which is a sign of God's presence, then spiritual beings have that ability to do that too.
Okay.
Now that's, again, some people will be like, wait a minute, hold on, now you're really, there's nothing in the Bible that says that they don't. See, there's a lot of things that we assume that people say, oh, they're always only male, or oh, they're never, wait, no, it never actually said that. It just says this is, well, they look like two men, but didn't say angels are only. We don't know much of anything other than what they do.
Right.
And so I tell people to loosen your grip on that, because sometimes, guys, honestly, sometimes we're so stuck, or we stick to those things because we're afraid of being deceived by a fallen angel.
Yep.
And let me tell you something about fallen angels. They ain't all that. If you know Jesus and you are intimate with his heart and you know him and you know the word and you know who he's like and his presence and what it's like, when a spiritual being comes to you declaring his name, the first thing you will feel will be his presence. And I remember Jesus looked at me, he said, anything I send to you, Micah, will have my presence because they come directly from me.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So no matter what that creature is, I've had some strange things come my way, and I don't sit there and be like, wait, who are you? I just stop and I listen. I start to say, oh, yep, I feel the presence of God. Oh, yep, there's Jesus.
Yeah.
And the scriptures do say, if something comes to you talking to you about a different gospel, then let it be cursed. Okay? Well, yeah, then you better know the gospel.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You talked about that on the last interview. I think
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact situation, but there was a being that came to you.
Yep.
And it was just off a little bit. It was
Yep.
saying something. It wouldn't quite acknowledge that it was sent by Christ.
Right.
Again, people need to go back and watch that interview.
Yeah, go back and watch it.
And read your Bible more.
Yeah.
Read that Bible. So I tell people that, who say, well, they only look like this. It's like, actually, no, it doesn't say it looks that way. You're seeing dimly into a world. Angelic beings or spiritual beings have been around longer than the earth. They've been around longer than the earth. And we know they've been around longer than the earth because it says in Job that they rejoiced when God created the earth.
Yeah.
They rejoiced. Woo, it looks good. I've seen that event where they all circled the earth, looked at it, and they just cheered God on.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. So they've been around that long. So we don't want to get into a religious spirit concerning the spiritual realm, because if we do that, then we won't be open to anything that starts to happen supernaturally.
Yeah.
In these coming days. You talk about the end times. Look, the end times is going to be supernatural. It is going to be supernatural. And we have to get that in our minds that, like, okay, I got to really start accepting this and reading the word, knowing who Jesus is. So that way, when spiritual beings start showing up and people start seeing them, look at where these shows are going. These shows of supernatural beings and gods and deities, on these shows on HBO and all this stuff of these gods and things. That's just because the seasons, the times are coming to where everybody's going to be seeing these beings.
Yeah.
You should ask him that next question, because in the news recently, there was something that fell from the sky.
Oh yeah, back in
Vegas,
May 1st in Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear you talk about that, Micah, because it keeps you humble when you remember that, like, we do see it through a glass darkly.
Yes.
And I've had that same argument all the time when I was trying to talk to people about my Heavenly Realms series, about angelic warfare. And they're just novels, they're just like fantasy novels. And you have to tell people, well, you got to create a ton of fictional stuff, fictional characters, world building, because there's not enough stuff in the Bible to build a world off of.
Right.
So you have to use a lot of creative license, but people get so just stick in the mud about some of these things. And they get really hung up about them. And I'm just always, it's good to hear you say that, because that will help me. But I'm curious, when it comes to what angels look like, specifically for me, the three, what I would consider the three archangels, Michael, Gabriel, and then Lucifer, who eventually became Satan. Do you have any visual experience with those three people?
Oh yeah, they I'm right. I was working on, man, and people keep asking me to finish it, and it just takes a lot to process for me. But encounters I've had I call them the Fall of Lucifer series, and Back in 2007 or 2008, maybe actually 2008. I was in college and I had these series of encounters, watching the story of Lucifer and Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, and all these other archangels, and the fall and when Lucifer fell.
Oh wow.
And man, I grew up believing that it was God did have victory, and it was like but when I watched the event and I saw the heartbreak, because angelic beings or spiritual beings, they have a sense of family, and that's what they're brothers. And so Michael and Uriel, they consider, and Gabriel and all them, they consider themselves to be brothers because they were part of the oldest group of created angelic beings, and I remember watching that, and I just would cry and just cry. And I remember Holy Spirit looked at me, and he said, "This is why angels dislike heartbreak in family, because they know what that feels like. They've seen and experienced their family being removed from heaven, siding with Satan, being removed from heaven." And I'll just say this: Lucifer, he was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he was beautiful. And I mean, it describes him in Ezekiel 28, I believe, some in Ezekiel 28. But his job was to literally, I saw events with him where he had music inside of him and the stones and things crafted inside of him to build these places of worship in heaven to Yahweh. And I remember watching him sit down with other angels, and they would listen to him, and they would start to learn to play music from him, learn to be creative. See, some people think that Lucifer was just over music. It was actually the whole creative realm. That's why he attacks creativity so hard.
Yep.
Because he was the one that was over creativity, expression, art, music, dance, everything. And he taught those angels how to give worship and glory to the Lord, to Yahweh. And so that's why they called him like a covering cherub, because his job was beautiful unto the Lord, and so seeing him in that purity, and then watching how pride and violence was found in his heart when he walked among the stones of fire, and pride was in his heart. And the funny thing is when I watched him pace on those coals of fire, and he would minister unto the Lord, and I would look into Lucifer's eyes, and I would say, "Oh my goodness!" And the Holy Spirit who was with me, he'd say, "What do you see?" And I said, "I see that spark of pride." And then I said to the Holy Spirit, and I said, "Why didn't you guys?" I said to him, I said, "Why didn't you guys do anything about it then? You saw it then." And then the Holy Spirit, he looked at me, and he said, "Because we're merciful." He said, "We wanted to give him time to think."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh my goodness, what mercy." Like, just that the Lord didn't immediately remove him so quickly. He did, eventually. But God was even hoping. God had even that much hope that, okay, let's see. Maybe he'll turn. Maybe he'll talk to me about it, But he didn't.
Yep.
He let that pride fester and violence in his heart. Oh, and that just gets to me, because it's like, now some people will say, like, "Oh, does that mean that Lucifer's going to repent one day?" No, it does not, because his prophecy is sealed. It says what's going to happen to him, and he has no desire to.
All right. There's part one.
Part one.
Yeah. Pretty good, huh?
Yes, so good. And we happen to have a copy of Micah's book here, so you can check it out. And I think Mike is in the chat too.
Yeah.
I think Mike is in the chat. Behold Wonder. Thanks for having me, guys. Love you all. It was so fun, man. Micah, we love having you on.
Yeah, it's always a real blessing. Honestly.
It is. Yeah.
It's very rejuvenating whenever we get to talk to Micah.
And we didn't tell you we were going to do this, Micah, but we're going to go ahead and put your book up here.
Yeah.
So there's the book, guys. Micah's book, The Invitation. You guys can scan the code. It'll take you directly to the sales page on Amazon. Definitely get yourself a copy.
Yeah.
And this has been something in the works for a while. It's funny because when we interviewed Micah, I mean, it was several months ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you gonna write a book? You should write a book. And he's like, I'm in the middle of it. And so many people say that. So many people say, oh, I'm writing a book, I'm in the middle of it, and they never get it out.
And Micah did it.
He did it.
Yeah,
he did it. That's a cool cover too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book. It's great. And Amazon, I can't really blame Amazon. They got it here in like 2 days.
Yeah,
I was just late ordering it.
Okay.
For the interview. It was like last second. I like woke up like George Clooney in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, where he's like, my hair. It's like, oh, middle of the night. Oh, Micah's book.
That's great.
But hopefully we're making up for it now. Yeah, definitely. If you're watching this, scan the QR code. $14.99. The Invitation by Micah Turnbow. It will really help reinforce your faith and bring you peace. And Micah is such a sweetheart. We always enjoy talking to Micah.
Absolutely. And I'm getting his second part of the interview teed up here.
It was really cool actually talking to Micah about the angels and the rebellion in heaven, because Empyrean Falling, the first book in the Heavenly Realm series, is about that. And I had never known who Micah was until we started doing this channel. And I wrote that book from 1999 to like 2005 was probably how long it took to get the first draft done. And hearing him describe things that I had put in my book, especially about the sadness, and some of the colors of the angels and how they operate and their attitudes and personalities, it was like it made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Like
That's awesome.
My nape hairs stood up because I seriously was like, oh my god,
the bristles of your manly pate.
My manly pate was bristling.
Your manly back pate.
My honey badger was, was bristling because it was like, man, this is like, I've done this. Like, he's telling me things that he doesn't know, and I didn't know when I wrote the book. So yeah, man, he's onto something. It was really cool.
Yeah,
so,
very cool.
People were asking who you were in the Heavenly Realms books, and you were like about 4 different angels. Yeah, but they're all tall.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are they all like good angels?
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies. Yeah, but they were all bad.
Yeah, but they were all bad.
I think they were. Yeah.
So I'm not a bad angel in any of them?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. And you were, and in at least 2
Do all of them die in the fighting?
I mean, like one of them lives, but 2 of them were
he gets
like
5 of 6 wings shaved off.
2 of them were like the respective commanders of the North Gate, which is like of Zion's walls, which was kind of cool. Like the heavy hitter general of the entire
Okay, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, that's good.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Come on, you want to be a little guy who lives? You want to be a big guy who croaks, man? Come on. But yeah, anyways, Micah Turnbow's book, The Invitation, is a beautiful book. Trade paperback copy. Definitely get it on Amazon.
Awesome.
And and Mike Fisher. I want to give a shout out to Mike Fisher. Does our homework.
Yeah, thank you. Kind of. Yeah, go for it. Can you hear that? That's for you, Mike. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Really, really appreciate it. And Suzuki says he just ordered a copy of Micah's book.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic.
Suzuki,
thank you.
You're going to really like it, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, guys. I'm going to take this QR code down for just a second. We're going to play Micah's the second part of Micah's interview. Yeah. And I'll have a little QR code up in the corner during the second part. If you guys want to scan that and check out Micah's book while you're watching, you'll be able to do that. So anything else before we go into part B?
Micah is Behold Wonder, and he's there in the chat. So feel free to ask any questions of Micah while he's in the chat. I'm sure his time is limited, and I'm sure he's a busy guy, but we really appreciate anytime a guest can join us in the chat, man.
It's awesome.
It's our favorite thing. Yeah, it's so cool because it helps everybody, and it just generates the community a little bit more. It's really neat.
Yeah, so, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Micah is amazing. Please come to Nashville, Micah. That's all I'm saying. Please come to Nashville.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It'd be awesome. All right, guys, here we go. Micah Turnbow, The Invitation, Part B.
That's cool. What about Michael and Gabriel?
Michael and Gabriel. Oh, okay. So Michael. So what's amazing about Michael? His wings are bronze and on fire, because he took up the sword for the Lord. There was a time, where in the early days of the heavenly realm, where the spiritual beings didn't have any fight. They didn't battle anything. There was nothing to go to war against.
Yep.
And when Satan had fallen, when Lucifer had fallen, Michael fought him and wrestled him. And he took up a sword because Jesus asked him, will you fight? Because they understood what the battle was for, what was happening, why Lucifer fell. It had everything to do with us.
Yeah.
And Jesus asked him if he would fight for the ones he loved. And Michael said yes. And so Jesus, I'll never forget it. Jesus took his hands, and the light formed in the palm of his hands, and he stretched it out, and it formed into this sword, this beautiful sword, this weapon, and he gave it to Michael. Michael's had it ever since. And so I told Michael one time I watched him singing over a big waterfall just in heaven. He was just singing over, his big brown wings were open, and you could see the fire in them. And he was just, Michael's very just, he's big, and he's awesome. But he's so funny because, there's so much to say that Gabriel laughs at Michael because Michael appears to be so tough, but Michael loves children. This is why a lot of kids always will say, I saw Michael. Michael loves to show up in front of children.
That's awesome.
He has a soft spot, for babies.
That's awesome.
But, isn't that amazing?
That's cool.
But he was over that big giant waterfall, and he was singing, and he was telling me about how he felt when he watched his Lucifer fall. And I looked at the sword, and I said to him, I said, what's going to happen, when Satan is defeated, but he's going to be thrown away, thrown into the judged and all those things, and the kingdom of God is going to expand, all that stuff. I said, what are you going to do then? I said, there will be nothing for you to battle. And he just smiled, and he looked at me, and he said, I will put my sword away. He says, and I will just sing like I used to before the earth was made. And I was like, whoa, so even the angels have tasks only for this age right now.
Right.
Isn't that amazing?
They're going to play golf eventually.
Yeah, they're going to play golf.
They're going to retire.
Yeah. I will think I'll take up cooking.
They're going to go to the barbecue and pick up the grandbabies.
Pick up those grandbabies. Yeah.
He's got a spot down in the panhandle all picked out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to kick back, flip flops, maybe, just
they're
some,
going to
just
be
some
in
shorts.
peace. They're going to be finally finished with their task that they took on, for this time.
That's awesome. I can't leave my boy Gabriel out.
Oh, Gabriel. Yeah. Gabriel is cool because Gabriel is more so current with the times because he deals a lot with people, talking to people, and his assignment in angels. He's over messenger angels. So he's very cool. Very
he's more trendy.
Yes, that's it. Yes, more trendy, and I enjoy him a lot. But he they call him the silver blue star in heaven because the light that comes from him is a silver light and a blue light. And sometimes in heaven, there's stars and other things in heaven in the skies, but you'll see Gabriel up in the sky, and he's just this star, this beautiful star, and his regal kind of robe or gown that he has sparkles kind of like when you look at a lake when the sun hits it and it sparkles like that. Very clear, and he's his hair is silver light. You can see a little light coming off of him. But yeah, he's awesome. And if he appears to kids, because it was funny, there was a prophet who once told me, he said, these angels, and that was so sad. He said this. He said, this is silly. These angels don't have time to visit children. And I looked at him and I said, you are not their boss. You do not
right, yeah.
What they have time for, what they don't have time for.
Yeah.
Like, you need to sit down, have a seat, drink some tea, because that's absolutely absurd. Like,
you need to go for a walk.
I know. Go for a walk. Take a bath in some Epsom salt. Do something to
Epsom
relax.
salt.
Do something to chill out, because
Mhm.
some of the things that we just end up saying, I'm looking at them like, where in the world did you get that from?
Mhm.
But the kids will come and tell me about Gabriel, and then I'm Gabriel to play with the kids. Gabriel will have these bright, they're so off-putting, but he has these bright red shoes that he'll put on. And when he appears to kids, he'll pull up his regal gown and they'll see these bright red shoes, and kids will just laugh at him, and then he'll take them off and do whatever he needs to do. But see, angels have personalities. They're not stoic and hello,
Right.
hi. There are some that you try and talk to, and it's just like, you must not talk to people a lot, but
Yeah.
you're a little different, but they love people. They
Yeah.
love
They
us.
have to, because they have,
Yes.
right? I
Yes.
mean, you got to have the passion to do the job.
Oh my gosh, because we are not easy.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I asked Eden, my guardian angel, one time, because he sat in a red chair, and I just interviewed him, wrote things down, and asked him questions. And I said to him, I said, so what's it like? And what's it like you watching me? And he looked at me, he smiled, he said, I am never bored. He said, I am never bored, Micah. And I was like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? What does that mean? And then he just smiled. Yes. He said, Micah, he said, let me just tell you, he said, I enjoy you. And he said, and when the Father selected me to watch you, when he held you in his hand before you entered your mom's womb, he looked out among all the angels, and then he said, that one right there, and he picked me. He said, because he knew I would be the best companion for you here on the earth. And that's how your guardians are selected. It is the guy just says, go, you, Joe in the back, come here. No, he scans them all, and then he says, you are perfect. You're the right one for this child.
Yeah. That's
very cool.
Awesome. Is it possible for someone who maybe is struggling in their relationship with God to be able to maybe find faith or peace or succor, being able to communicate with their guardian angel? And if so, is there a way to do that doesn't trespass into the territory of witchcraft?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Yes, that's a great question. And again, it's a good question, but a lot of times those questions are asked because people are afraid of talking to a fallen spirit.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
I tell people simply this to get them started. I say, I ask them, do you own a pet? And they say, yes. And I said, you talk for your pet. You talk to your pet. You don't worship them. You love your pet.
Every day I talk to that dog.
Yeah. My cat, Leo, and he'll have his own encounter. Sometimes angels will visit him, and they're coming to talk to me, but they're playing with my cat. But, it's the strangest thing. But no one is asked, are you worshiping your animal, or even your children, or even a best friend that you find comfort in, that you talk to, that you call? No one says, oh, you're worshiping them.
Right.
That'd be silly.
Yeah.
So we have to look at why those questions are asked. And it's because Satan has planted into our minds that he is more powerful. And that if you start talking to these beings, oh, it might be me. Listen, Satan cannot be everywhere at one time. Satan has so much things to do, and he doesn't have as many resources as we think he does. And a lot of times he hangs back. Satan hangs back. If he's going to sit there and try and come as an angel of light, he hangs back. It's because when you walk in authority and you start breaking things off of his kingdom, he doesn't get them back.
Yeah.
He loses the resources.
Yep, that's true.
So you start sending things into dry places, his resources and his attacks into dry places, they don't come back. They stay there.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna sit there and show his face to people who know who they are. So anyway, I just tell them, to get them started, it's like, you don't worship your cat, you don't worship your friend. Remember, angels are just friends. They're your friends. Yeah. Sure, they can lift a 6-ton car, fire out their hands. I mean, that's epic. Who wouldn't want a friend like that? Be around a friend like that, But any true angel, and I say this all the time, any true angel will always lead you to Jesus.
Yeah.
will always lead you to the Father. I love my angel Eden, and we worship God together. We'll have time with the Lord together, and I talk about him like he is right there, because my life has been so enriched by him, and it's true. He's right there. He's a friend, and he doesn't know everything. He doesn't have all the answers in the world. He doesn't. He's an angel. He doesn't.
Yeah.
But I love it when we get to sit together and we get to chill, hang out, and we talk about the Lord, or we talk about the elephant in the room. And I just feel so encouraged because, listen, your angels are there when you go through hard things.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, Jesus and Father and Holy Spirit are there. They're always there with you. Always, 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 always.
Yeah.
But God gave you also a companion to, to serve you, to constantly serve you and encourage you. And I've seen, one time Eden told me, he said, Micah, he said, through your hardest moments when you would cry, he said, and you're walking through some of your struggles, he said, I was there crying with you. I was there with my wings wrapped around you, telling you it was going to be okay. And you felt that energy, that life come into you. It's because I spoke to you. It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Jesus loves you. Let's go to Jesus together. Let's go to Jesus. And I looked at him and said, that was you sometimes? And he said, yeah. Sometimes I knew what I could give you wasn't enough, that you needed to go to Jesus. And so I would say, let's go to Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'd bring you to him. See, guardian angels are amazing. There's no reason to worship them. There is no reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Their mission isn't to be worshiped. It is so that you love God with all your heart. And nothing encourages them more is when the person that they're watching and protecting falls in love with Jesus.
Yeah. Amen. And I asked that question not just because I'm sure people would wonder, but also I asked that question for myself because I wrestle tremendously with anger towards God. And I know that there are times where I'm sure God can't answer me, because if he did, I'd probably be burned to cinders. But but you still feel alone, and you're just like screaming at the void, and sometimes I wonder, like, I don't know, I don't want to appeal to my dead parents, because that's like a weird Catholic thing. Nothing against our fine brothers of the cloth, but but at the same time, it's like, I know I got a guardian angel, and I know he's there, and it's like, I don't know, maybe this guy can talk to me then, because this is not working.
Yes, and they stick up for you, they fight for you. Their gown, this is what's neat, is that their robes that they'll have as a reward, because your guardian angels will be rewarded from Jesus when you go home to be with the Lord, because they go with you, and you'll get to have all the conversations that you get to have with them, and they'll ask you all the questions sometimes, like, why did you do that? But they get a robe that is made specifically for them, that is designed from your obedience to the Lord.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's fashioned only for them. So when I go home to be with the Lord, when I finish here and I go home and Jesus presents me before the Father and all this good stuff, and they cheer, Eden will be there too. And Jesus will give Eden a garment that was made specifically for him, designed by the obedience I lived on the earth.
That's awesome.
Isn't that incredible?
That's incredible.
Yeah. And I get so excited for the angels. I'll tell Eden, I say, you're going to get your robe. You're gonna get your robe, bro. Stick with it, man. I know I'm a trip, but you stick with it. You get a reward. Come on, man.
You earned that rhinestone robe, baby.
Yes, that's right.
I know you earned it after this one. I'm sorry.
Right. Just remember, reward, Eden.
Just hang with me, homie. I know it sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, their angels, guardian angels, are amazing. They really are.
Awesome. Well, I want to get to there's a couple questions that one of our patrons asked. I don't want to miss our opportunity to ask those. I know we have about 20 minutes left with you. But I know you had another question.
Okay.
Another couple of questions in there. There is this one and this one.
Okay. So do you want just this one, or do you want both of these? I know you want this one.
Definitely.
Okay.
You want me to start with that one?
You ask that one, since it's kind of your milieu anyways, even though I came up with a question, so whatever,
I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me borrow one of your questions, bro.
You're welcome. You're welcome, bro.
Brother love.
Yeah. Hashtag brother love.
I love it. I love it.
So, is there something supernatural behind AI?
Mm.
There's a lot of fear around it,
Yeah.
but is there something supernatural
Oh,
that you've
man.
seen there?
And what do the angels think of AI?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there is. There's coming a time where the man-made gods will be AI.
Mm.
We're circling back to when humans are going to get involved into technology into a certain way. This is hence the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel, just as much as it was a physical tower, it was also a supernatural tower because they were trying to literally reach the gods. Remember, I talked about the plane of where the gods were?
Yeah.
They were literally trying to reach that.
Yeah.
AI and technology is going to get advanced enough to where it will be desired and worshipped. And we're starting to see some of those things happen with these AIs. I had this dream and it's disturbed me. And I put it on the back burner for a long time, for years, because it disturbed me so much. And then I started opening it up again because I saw something on Instagram with AI, and then I was like, that was in my dream. Not saying that this event was that in the dream, but it was very similar to where it was a concert in the dream, and they had projected this AI, this technology, and it looked extremely real, and it was reaching for people.
Yeah.
And people were raising their hands and cheering it on, and they were so excited, and they had their phones out and everything, and I was so disturbed. I said, and I looked at Holy Spirit, I said, what is this? And he's looked at me and he said, man-made gods.
Yep.
He said, AI and technology is going to become a man-made god. And I said, oh no. And he said there will be a war between. Now I don't know how and when this will all play out. I don't have any timing on it.
That's okay. You're speaking my language. Keep going.
Yeah, so I was like, yay! These are the kind of things me and my best friend talk about, because we'll go out to lunch and he'll be like, tell me about it. And
Awesome.
Yeah, so will be a war between spiritual beings and AI, because they will feel like they have ownership over humans. So the spiritual beings, as far as the gods of the air, the principalities of the air, will go against the AI, because the AI will think they own the humans, and the spiritual beings, the principalities, will think they own humans. So there'll be a war in the heavens again. And the church has really got to step up and being able to take authority into the air, but also to stay firm in who Jesus says he is, because there will even be a created or man-made, how do I say this, like projected image even of Jesus.
Yeah. And
people say, no, that's him, and it will not be him.
Yeah.
And I saw that in a dream. I woke up sweating, because I was trembling. I saw a Jesus that was created, and people were going out to hear him. And I remember pointing at him, and I said, "You are not him. You are not Jesus. That is not him." And it's in a dream, like your voice like echoes, it like gets really loud. And I was just saying that, and then I woke up just shaking, and I was sweating, and I was saying it out loud, and I woke my sister up. She's like, what happened? And I said, I had a dream. I'll tell you in the morning. So we have to know who Jesus is. We have to know who the real Jesus is.
Yeah. That's an awesome answer. And it's, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about man-made gods, AI, which
Mhm.
Gary Wayne kind of insinuates that there will be an oinkatarian kind of dwelling
yes.
place created,
Yeah.
with what they're doing at CERN and tapping into
Mhm.
possibly the abyss and the
Mhm.
Watchers in prison there. There's a
Yep.
whole lot of potential in
Yes.
these areas. I
Yes.
hesitate to say mythology, but it's
Oh,
something
I know what you
close to
mean.
that.
Yeah, totally.
And so, but I never thought about the man-made AI gods going to war with the
Mhm.
pre-existing fallen
Yes.
principalities.
Yes.
And the faithful are probably either sitting there like, okay, now we got to fight a war on two fronts, or they're like, dude, in this AO, we're just gonna let them take each other out.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll just let them destroy each other.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I asked some of some of the spiritual beings and that serve the Lord in heaven. I said, "What are you guys gonna do?"
Yeah.
And they smiled. One of them was a big, beautiful, fiery bird. Oh, he was awesome. I mean, he just carried the glory of God in his feather. It was just so cool. And I was like, oh man, I gotta ride that guy because I want to ride any kind of flying creature, in heaven.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I'm like, I gotta ride the guy. And I asked him, I said, what are you guys gonna do? What are you guys gonna do? And he had his wings open, and his head looked down like that and looked right at me. And he said, we will continue to partner with the sons of God in releasing his kingdom. Do not be afraid. I was like, whoa, man. Because it's not going to affect God. It's not going to affect what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Right.
He's supreme. He's supreme, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we're going to be okay. That'd be kind of cool to see how that happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not like having a giant phoenix tell you that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little different than a little squirrel telling you that.
It's almost like almost like in Lord of the Rings when the eagles show up to help.
Dude. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, that kind of leads into another question that I had that we can hopefully get to in time to get to the Patreon questions. There was we had mentioned it before. There was another alien landing sighting on May 1st in Las Vegas. Okay. And and I'm wearing a shirt that says it. Aliens are just demons you can shoot. So we are not of the mind necessarily that aliens are what pop culture says they are.
Right.
We kind of Nick and I, layman, err on the side of that they are spiritual or demonic.
They're demonic.
Or something of that ilk. We wanted to ask you, are aliens just demons? And if not, what are demons?
Oh, great. Oh, that's a great question. Yes. So aliens are spiritual beings. They are spiritual beings, demonic spiritual beings that pass through into our dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the spiritual world isn't just land. There's buildings and ships and things all in there, because remember, they've been around longer than the earth has ever been.
Yeah.
And so they've advanced, they have evolved, and those kind of things. So aliens are demonic creatures, demonic beings, spiritual beings. Now, where the demons come from, it is believed, according to Jewish tradition and things that I have experienced, that they are the spirits of the Nephilim that were killed.
Yep.
And this is why demons desire a body so much, because they had a physical body on the earth.
Yeah.
And so they want, and this is why they attack us physically and attack even our physical makeup. Oh, you're just ugly. Oh, you're just this, because they had bodies before. And so they are into possessing or taking over bodies because they want one. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's so much so that even when Jesus cast Legion out.
Yes. The Gadarene demoniac.
Yes, please put us
in the pigs.
They don't want to be without,
Yeah.
And then there's a twofold reason of why it could be why that happened. The demons wanted a body, yes, but also when in warfare or military, when you lose ground, you have to go back and report to the head leader.
They don't want to give it.
They don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
Put us into the pigs, Lord Jesus, because we don't want to go back and tell them why we lost the ground here.
Mm-hmm.
To put us, it's better in a pig. We'd rather be in a pig because we're not wandering around, you
Mhm.
know. And some people ask, the demons are bound to the earth because they were fashioned on the earth,
Yeah.
even though they are part made up from humans and spiritual beings, the
Mhm.
watchers. Um, they were created; their spirits were bound to the earth because Father wasn't going to take them. I'm not going to take them. They
Yeah.
have nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
So they're bound to the earth. They're cursed to be on the earth.
I heard a really good I can't remember if it was in one of our interviews or not, where somebody talked about one of the reasons that demons are so effective but also desirous of a body
Mm-hmm.
is not just for the nostalgia of what they had and not
Mm-hmm.
just to
Mm-hmm.
escape having to give a report. I've never heard
Mm-hmm.
that before. That's really awesome, and that makes
Mm-hmm.
It
perfect
makes
sense.
sense too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also because demons don't sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how
Mm-hmm.
they're able to watch you all the time if they're
Mm-hmm.
assigned to you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's how
Mm-hmm.
they know your weaknesses and know how to get to you.
Yes.
But
Yes.
also, if they
Mm-hmm.
can get a body, then maybe they can attain some simulacrum of rest.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, even
Well,
if
yes,
it's like
they're wandering
Mm.
spirits. They always
yeah,
will wander,
yeah,
and that there is no place of rest for them. There is no place of stillness, and
yeah,
so it just the fact of having a body that can stop wandering, that can stop moving, is appealing to them.
yeah.
And they hate their form. They continue to grow uglier and uglier and uglier,
Hmm.
just like how like as we continue to the Lord and in the ages to come with the Lord, we will become even more glorious and more glory. We grow from glory to glory to glory, the word says.
Yeah,
But demons are the exact opposite. They continue to rot and decay and be despised, and they hate the way they look.
yeah,
They hate how they're made. The bodies they had before, before they lost them, they were some pretty legit bodies. They were
Mhm.
large, they were big, they were powerful, they had supernatural abilities, some of them,
Yeah,
and so to lose that, and to just wander and continue to rot and decay, of course they're gonna want physical bodies just to ease their pain.
hmm,
Mhm.
yeah,
Well, I want to ask our patrons question now.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
It's from Tricky Subject,
yeah.
and he asked kind of the same question twice
Mm-hmm.
in two different ways. He said, "Would you be so kind to ask, do the angels seem like they are gearing up for something big?
Oh.
Do they seem to give any indication that this is a time of great concern in the heavenly realms?"
Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, the angels, there are angels actually that have been trained for specific timelines. They have not yet stepped onto the earth yet. And I remember I was in heaven and I was standing next to the angels that even had the trumpets mentioned in Revelation. And now we know their job literally is to blow the trumpets. And,
Yeah.
and they're massive. But there were angels that were learning and training specifically for a time frame, seasons on the earth that they will be needed for us to accomplish or to move ahead in. And I remember watching them sit in a circle, these angels sit in this, and they were awesome. I mean, they were so different. Even it's so hard to find language. They were so different than the ones that I normally would have seen. These guys were very specific and designed for a purpose, and had much authority, and they had much excitement in them as they were learning. And one of them, I got one of them to kind of spill a little bit. I tapped him and I said, what are you being prepared for? And then he leaned in and he said, there will be healings in cities and nations never seen before. He said, where the church will function in such authority that they will point to the sky. They'll point to the sky, and mass healings will happen instantly.
Hmm.
And he said, and I will go and I will stand over those cities.
Oh wow.
I will stand over those cities. He said, you will see me standing over those cities. And I thought that was amazing.
Hmm.
That there would be healings like that, to where we won't be able to lay hands on everybody, but we'll be able to point to the sky and command cancer to leave. We'll be able to point to the sky and command AIDS. We'll be able to point to the sky and command those things to happen. So the angels are gearing up. Their concern is this. Their concern, or what they're praying for, is that we really know who we are in our identity. Because what's attacking the church right now, and is there's two people asking who we are. The Lord, who are you? And Satan, who are you? And it matters that we believe in who we are and who God says we are, because that will allow us to partner with these massive, powerful angelic groups that are going to do incredible things with us in the earth.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is amazing.
It's amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Well, let's see. He had one last question.
Yeah, he did. You've kind of already answered it, but I'll throw it out there. Does Micah see the fallen angels as well as those of higher standing?
Yeah, I would probably add on. I've added it in my notes here. Just the word hierarchy. So, yeah. Do you what do you see when you see fallen angels?
Yeah, fallen angels. Now, the ones that came during Genesis 6, or the time of Genesis 6, those 200 watchers are in the abyss, the caves, and the bound there. But the angels have continued to fall, which is sad.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? You saw what happened to 200 of your watchers.
Right.
Why would you do that? We actually had two different falls. We had the falls of the watchers, and then we had the fall when Lucifer got his crew to come down. So what they look like is they look different from the demons. Fallen angels, it looks like light was pulled out of them, like a black light, or it's like, this is where it gets hard. Words are so hard. Like a dark light is in them, and they are continuing. It's like they had a sense of beauty inside of them, but it was corrupted. It was shifted. It was turned, and it's not like they're ugly, but they are off. It's like that is not Jesus. That is not the Lord. Where demons are like, ugh, appalling, ugh, yuck. They are more so like, whoa, that beauty that you're showing me right now is not right. That is corrupted, or that is twisted. And that's how fallen angels work. They twist, they turn, they want you to do things for them. And that's in my experience with them. They wanted me to do things for them, so they can have some type of authority or power.
Yeah. Man, it's so cool listening to you talk about so many of these things. Not just for our audience and not just for me and Nick, but also like when you were talking about Lucifer's rebellion, and you were talking about heartbreak and civil war and brothers and the guilt and the sorrow of of what happened. Like, I'm just listening to that thinking like, oh, thank God I got it right. Like, dude, I've got to send you copies of like at least like the first Heavenly Realms book, because I think you would read it and be like, oh yeah, you'd probably be like, oh no. But so it's just so cool to like listen to somebody.
That's amazing.
That's give a confirmation, I think, is the churchy for that term.
Confirmation.
So it does my spirit well, Mike.
Oh, good job. You keep on writing. Keep on writing, bro.
Thanks.
Well, this has been so great having you back. Thank you again.
Man.
And we want to bring you back. We want to hear how the book is doing. We'll have more questions for you. But this has been really refreshing talking with you, and inspiring. And thank you for making the time to come back.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for receiving my gift in ministry. That is That's wonderful. I don't get on a lot of things because some, people think I'm crazy, but that's all right.
You're in good company. People think we're crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's right.
I think the
we're
worst
doing
getting out at my church that I do this live stream
Mhm.
and I'm starting to get some weird looks.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Well,
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I don't care.
They
Yeah.
just have an Epsom
It
salt
attracts
bath.
the right people, you know?
Yes, it does.
I'm
Honestly.
like, are we going to be able to talk about this? So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
looks like we have a connection issue here.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Am I okay?
But we will let you go. Can you still hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. We got you back.
Okay. Am I good?
You're good.
You're good. Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think we had a
little glitch in the
Yeah.
matrix there.
yeah. That's all right.
Okay.
I can edit that down. That's no big deal.
Okay, fair
Mhm.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Micah, thank you for being here. I look forward to next time.
Yeah.
God bless you,
Mhm.
and have a great.
Yeah, and you know what, Micah? Before we go, one thing that I've tried to remember to do with our guests
yeah.
is our logo here on the Goslings is
Our motto.
Our motto is "Go forth, take up the broken sword of your father, and
Mhm.
strike down the darkness."
Amen.
So, any advice for our audience on how you or they might go forth and strike down the darkness?
Oh, you know what? Believe that there is fire in you. When God, the Holy Spirit, when he came inside you, one of the things of his manifestations of him being inside you is fire. So your daddy in heaven, your father in heaven calls himself even the all-consuming fire. And so I like to tell people, when you're bashing and trashing and crushing darkness, you release the fire of God outside of out of your being. I love to do that. I love to go into places and I just say, I release from me right now the fire of God, and watch things shift. I've had things shift in the room. I've had demons manifest in the room and they leave people, and just continue to get to know that all-consuming fire on the inside of you, because he is there. You are not by yourself. He is there inside you.
I love it. That's beautiful. Micah Turnbow, author of The Invitation, Behold Wonder is the website.
Yep.
Man, thank you so much. You're a beautiful soul. We love you. You're fun, and we always are honored, and we have such a great time with you. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm praying for y'all. Y'all keep doing it now.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Please do.
Please come back and see us. You always have a home
definitely.
here on the Goslings.
Definitely.
All right, buddy.
We'll see you later.
Well, thanks
Bye-bye.
again, man. Have a good Sunday. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, if you guys have been enjoying this interview and you'd like to hear the rest of it, including some really down and dirty stuff that we're not allowed to say here on YouTube, head over to patreon.com/The Goslings. We'd love to have your support there and share exclusive content with you.
That's right. Keep it cool. And remember, these are interviews that strike down the dark.
They do indeed strike down the darkness. They strike down all the darkness.
That's right. Strike it down hard.
So hard.
So hard.
Oh man, guys.
Yeah.
That was a great interview with Micah. We absolutely had a blast talking with him.
Yeah.
You walk away just feeling, I said in the interview, refreshed.
Yeah.
And you just feel blessed. It's like, as a Christian, like, I would want people to walk away from an interaction with me the way I feel after I talk with Micah.
You're right.
Because I really feel like he truly loves Jesus and wants me to know him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's a very humane, empathic kind of affection that is infectious.
It is
you
infectious.
Talk to Micah. I mean, the invitation, baby.
Yep.
I think he is inviting you, whether you believe, what he talks about with what he sees or not, kind of in a way, like it. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it doesn't. It kind of, don't let it ever be a stumbling block for you to see what his ultimate message is, which is to build a deeper relationship with the Lord.
Yeah.
That is that's the most powerful thing about it. And I mean, it's easy for me you know, because I've been trading in that world for half my life now.
Yeah.
You know, but for a lot of people, you know, who might not be as open to what he talks about, it's like, yeah, but listen to what he's driving you towards.
Well, yeah, and it's like,
That's the cool thing.
He's talking as someone who's touched the divine,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't do that without walking away changed. And when you interact with other people, they're going to sense that.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a part of it's like, I think he's really encountering and seeing angels, seeing Jesus.
Yeah. He's like talking to Micah is kind of like being around a wellspring after hanging out in the desert all day.
Yeah, for real.
You know, because,
and especially if you're on social media.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And a lot of stuff that we talk about, you know, is pretty heavy, you know, so it's always nice to be able to come back and talk to somebody with Micah who is just uplifting, man. You know, he makes you, he makes you feel better he makes you feel more at ease about your relationship with God and that it's okay to draw nearer, you know? So yeah, we really like it. The Invitation by Micah Turnbow. Everybody should check it out.
You should check it out.
Yes.
Check it out. Speaking of checking out books, shall we?
Yeah, let's shill our own crap.
let's hawk our own wares,
which will not be nearly as uplifting as what Micah writes.
Snake oil panhandler, I'll let you start.
So I'm not gonna. I know I've like talked about the first book, Empyrean Falling, before. I'm not gonna do it this time necessarily, but I am just going to show it briefly. The QR code is on your screen, and I'm holding it right here. Heavenly Realms, Empyrean Falling by Jonathan Goss. It is about the wars between the angels, and Empyrean Falling is the first book in the Heavenly Realms series, 7-novel series. This one in particular is the origin point that shows the rebellion of Lucifer and the 1/3 of the angels. So I'm tying that in because Micah and I we didn't plan on it. We did not plan on really talking about that, but it just sort of came up in conversation. What I would like to do in honor of Micah is talk about book 5. It's called Wayfarers. Heavenly Realms Wayfarers by me, Jonathan Goss. So anyways, it's book 5 in the series. You don't technically have to read the other 4 in order to read this one, but it definitely will help. So anyways, I'm going to read you the book blurb and then we'll move on. What defines a faithful? Do the angels earn their halos through obedience alone? Ilthaliel was created as a seraph, but his friendship with the cherubic General Melfax brought him out of his stately choir's comfort zone and introduced him to the rigors and philosophies of Zion's warrior caste. From the angel's imperial birth to the fall of the Western Empire and the raising of the Eastern Kingdom, Ilthaliel's friendship with Melfax is a journey of the heart, mind, and soul. Laden with theological dialects, harrowing adventures, and brutal combat, Ilthaliel will learn what it means to be a son of God, bearing the mantle of a halo's holy war and a soul's free will. Can he remain loyal to his Archon's choir, or will he spread his wings and fly under the aegis of Melfax's covert experiment, an elite legion of operatives known as the Smoke Column?
Ooh, the Smoke Column.
Ilthaliel's story transits the realms of creation, heaven, and hell, and spans the ages in his search for that answer which beckons all believers. Is it better to be a mystic or a scholar? Along the way, he will become embroiled in struggles with fallen gods, rogue faithful, and a messianic revelation, standing in the gap for humanity as well as his friends. Told in the aftermath of a great cataclysm, Wayfarers is one angel's memoir of the dark night of the soul, a quest to face faith's unbelief and spit the lukewarm from sacred mouths.
Ooh. Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's a synopsis. Good book blurb, I have to say.
Thanks. It's a lot shorter than Empyrean Falling. So
it's good stuff. Good stuff. All
right.
right.
What about yours? What do you have, Nick?
I have Henry Half Moon. Buy it.
Cool. Good night.
Henry Half Moon. Buy it.
Buy my book. Buy my book.
This is
where we get obnoxious.
A paranormal urban fantasy for young adult / adult. An uninspired college student, Henry is being followed by something unseen. That's this guy right here. A malevolent force that knows who he truly is. With the help of a college professor, a best friend, and an angel of death, Henry peeks behind the veil and sees the world as it really is, a feeding ground for demonic entities, preparing the way for an ancient prophesied evil. Tying together elements from Christianity, Greek mythology, and the occult, Henry Half Moon is a wild ride that will satisfy all readers.
Yeah.
It's written in first person.
Yeah.
It's the best thing I've ever written.
Yes, it is.
And I poured my heart and soul into this.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is a wild ride.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your favorite part?
My favorite part is when... Oh my gosh, that's a great question. My favorite part is when he discovers who his best friend really is.
Yeah.
When he's sitting in front of his best friend and he slips into the other realm,
Mm-hmm.
the upside down, if you will. I don't call it that,
Right.
but the spiritual realm. And his friend is still sitting in front of him, but he realizes who his friend truly is in the spiritual realm. And I won't say anything beyond that. And there's a couple other scenes that are really cool. One of them is where the Anunnaki they have come down, they've possessed a gaggle of witches, and they're performing a ceremony that ushers in Shimyaza. And it's actually the Babylon working that they're reciting and chanting in a secret midnight ceremony in St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Really?
Yeah, and Henry's there trying to stop it.
Yeah.
And I won't say what happens.
But it's wild.
It's intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really intense.
You did a lot of research.
I did a
Henry
lot
Half
of
Moon.
research on this. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not easy when you're doing something like this, it's a lot harder than doing something like this because this takes place in the real world.
Yeah.
This takes place in the real world too, but like everything is happening behind the veil.
Yeah.
So I can kind of like do whatever I want and I tie it in with some biblical stuff or whatever. But like this one, if you really want to tie in mythology, the occult, and Christianity, then like, dude, that is no easy task. You're like putting a plane and a train and an automobile together.
Yeah. Which is a great movie, by the way. Yeah.
Free
And
on YouTube.
So I started writing this book and I thought Henry Half Moon sounds like that's a perfect name for a character. So I named it Henry Half Moon. I started writing it. It takes place in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of writing it, I actually went to Manhattan with my wife for our her 40th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there for a few days. And while we were there, I was making notes. I wanted to make sure that everything about Manhattan in here was accurate. Yeah. We came home. I finished the book. I published it. And then afterwards, I discovered someone actually came. It was my mom that actually said, you might want to, do you know about the history of Manhattan? So I looked at the history of Manhattan. The island of Manhattan was discovered and founded by Henry Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
And the ship that Henry sailed up the Hudson.
What was the name of the ship?
The Half Moon. Yeah, it blew my mind. I had no idea. I had no idea. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, I'll stop talking.
We call that a confirmation.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Confirm.
In the church world, in churchiology, that's
confirm for
churchianity.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Confirmed for cool. Yeah, for sure. All right. That is the end of our shameless self-promotion of our books. Now let's shamelessly plug the Patreon.
Yes. I'm going to put Micah's book right up here, by the way, for anybody who's still interested.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put that there. I wonder if we can do that and the Patreon over here. We can. Fantastic. Thank you, Restream.
Nice. Okay. You know what? Restream owes us after not having the music.
Absolutely. This is so awkward feeling without the music.
Awkward.
Jeez. Oh, yeah. Jay Reese says, and my book is an extremely dramatic death scene. It's my favorite because I was just so impressed with it. Thank you, Jay Reese. Appreciate it. Shocking and horrifying. It is indeed.
Jay Reese also said earlier, I take all my weird questions and comments to my pastor. He never agrees with anything and tells me not to tell the small groups my theories.
Pastors don't want their congregants talking about this stuff. They need to keep it on track with the gospel. That's why we're here.
That's
so
why
you can
we're
come
here.
and talk about these weird things
That's
with
right.
us.
Yeah.
So yeah, topics that'll make your pastor's knees knock.
That's right.
That's part of the mantra in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
But if you'd like to hear the other third of the interview we heard from Micah. If you'd like to hear exclusive portions of all of our interviews, you can go to patreon.com/the Goslings, or you can scan the code there. And that we have multiple levels of support. We would love your support to help grow the channel. We definitely need some new equipment. We're saving up for it. It takes a lot, but anything you can do would greatly help. And at any level, we do as much as we can to provide you a benefit for that support and a thank you for that support. And you'll see those levels over at Patreon if you just scan the QR code.
Yeah, or you could go to patreon.com/the Goslings. That's with 2 S's.
2 S's, that's right.
And we have a bunch of different tiers, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100 tiers, whatever you want. And we threw a bunch of stuff at all of these tiers, as much as we really could. So, like, if you just want to support the channel and see the upcoming guest schedule for the month, then the $5 tier is where you want to be. If you want to see the Patreon exclusive content, then you want the $10 tier. And then beyond that, you start getting like stuff other than just like a free sticker, you know, or whatever. You get like coffee mugs and books and
there's all kinds
signed
of stuff.
letters. I got to post. We got
the
one
wax
of our
seal.
I got to post the picture that I took of the wax seal on Thursday. I totally forgot about that for you guys to see. Like, there's some cool stuff there, man.
Some cool stuff we do.
We designed it so that, like, if we were in your shoes, we would think it's good value. You know.
Yeah, exactly right.
And it helps us out big time. So, yeah.
Much appreciated, guys. Appreciate your support. Thank you for sticking with us through the whole interview and through our shameless self-promotion. We really appreciate that. And most of the people that are in the chat, I believe, are patrons. And if you're not, go over to Patreon, check it out. We'd love to have you there. And if not, we'll see you next week in the chat. We appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to hit the like button on the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe. That really, really helps. I know you hear that in every YouTube video.
Yeah, but it does make a difference. There's a reason why everybody talks about that. It actually does help.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and
Huge
Behold
difference.
Wonder. Let's see. It's beholdwonder.com.
It is,
correct?
Yep.
Yeah. And then I believe Micah has his own YouTube channel, perhaps. He's tied in before. It might have been through his Facebook group.
Yeah.
So if you look up Behold Wonder on Facebook and Micah Turnbow, you could probably find him there. And really, really appreciate anybody from his camp over here watching. We appreciate his time with us as well. And we appreciate you guys spending time with us. The chat was awesome today. It was a lot of fun. And like Nick said, like, a lot of the people who are in the chat are also patrons. Like Jay Reese has her own YouTube channel, a JRB Live, where she interviews authors, and she's great.
Non-woke authors.
Yes. Very, very cool.
That's her darkness that she's striking down.
Yeah. And we like the idea of, like, everybody sort of coming together and building a cool community of, you know, friendly, you know, people. And then we especially like seeing that community branch out just beyond of what we are able to provide through either YouTube or the Patreon. You know, it's really neat when guys and, you know, people start talking outside the channel and making friends and everything.
Yeah, it's cool.
Taking care of each other, you know. And it's pretty neat. So, anyways,
well, we love you guys. We're going to give our patrons a shout out here, and we're going to sign off and go get some sushi. We will see you guys. Well, not on this Thursday night because it's our anniversary, but we will be back next Sunday.
It's your 20th?
21st.
21st.
Yep, 21st anniversary.
21st anniversary. They're going to drink for the first time on their anniversary.
Oh.
I wear my sunglasses at night so I can. Do
you want to do that music while I do the?
I gotta remember the whole song. I don't know the whole song.
Oh, okay. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't then. Maybe we shouldn't then.
Let's see. You know what? If I could just get the lyrics. Hang on.
Maybe you can.
I'll just pull up the lyrics for it since we don't have any music.
Should I like sing while you're doing that? I'm not gonna. Well, I'll go to the chat. Let's go to the chat while you're looking that up. Jerry says, "Oh, happy anniversary! Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're excited. It's 21st. Last year for our 20th, we were like, do you want to just not do anything? Do you want to just stay?" We did. We just kept it local last week, or last year. This year, we're actually going to make a day trip.
Are you really?
Yeah. We're going to go.
Going?
I can't remember the name of the town. A lot of historical, nerdy, learning, you know, educational things to do about. They have to do with the history of Tennessee. I'm actually really excited about it. There's some good antique stores there. You know how nerdy I am about that.
Mm,
That's what we're going to be doing. Yeah, that's it. You got the lyrics?
I do. I
All
don't remember how to sing like more than half of this. So, you know what? It's probably just going to be a medley tonight, people. You know, we're
All
doing
right.
it live.
Okay, Bill. Bill, right.
Will it not work? Will this
It'll
not
work. It'll work. Yeah, you can hit it. You can hit it. You ready? I'm ready.
No. Nah. Let's do it. Bum 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 bum.
Okay, our first starting with our Pressfield level patrons. Joanna, Lisa, thank you for your generous support. We really, really appreciate it. Nobody else would sing you custom background music for your support of our Patreon. Thank you so much. So good. Hemingway level patrons, the backbone of the Goslings. Dade, Terry, Margaret, Greg, Patrice, Tim, Jody, Merkin, Cars. Merkin Cars in the chat tonight, by the way. Thank you, brother. We're glad you were here. Orwell level patrons. Here we go. The foundation. Lady Tans, Tammy, Earl, Deborah, Carmen, Jason, Lisa, Tracy, Debbie in Italy, Flossie, Amanda, Bridget, Lisa, Jake. So awkward. Jennifer, Judith, Jared, Julie, TPSL, Will, Darlene, Patrick, Katie, Part B, Timothy 21, Callie, Kena, who was also in the chat tonight. Glad you joined us. Karen, Rita, Mark, Joshua, Courtney, Bob, Julie, Ruta, Lee, Susanna, Bay, Joshua, Lenka, Lanya. Let's get some rhythm. Melissa, Vicky, Kelly, Marsha, and finally, I can't believe it. The Orig group. Jabber, Charmaine, Jerry, Marsha, Cheryl, Chris Caps, who's in the chat tonight. Love you, brother. Thank you for joining tonight. Karen, Canine Training, Mama Shaw OC, Cascadian Breeze, Gay Bellow Music, Mike Fisher, who was also in the chat. Thank you, sir, for being here and for your continued support. We really appreciate it. You guys check out Jarvanovich.com. Check out his products. Jamie, Sean E, Sunny, Michelle, Charlotte, thank you guys so much. And a special shout out to Jay Reese Bradley, who continues with her generous support both in the Patreon and in the chat. Guys, we love you all. We really appreciate y'all being here. Patreon.com/The Goslings. If you want to join the group, add your name to the list of trusted friends. And I think that's it.
You're welcome, everybody.
Well done.
Razor Fist would be proud.
Golf
no,
clap.
he would not.
Golf clap.
I can't wait for Gabe to see this and just light me up. All right, everybody.
This music was no AI was used in the playing or production of this music tonight.
Yeah, by Human Pledge.
If we get a copyright strike because you did that, I'm going to be so ticked. Not at you. It's just how lame the algorithm is.
Honestly, I would feel kind of flattered because I have only heard that song in its entirety maybe 3 times.
For them to even recognize it would
so
be
like
flattering.
I sang that so wrong in some places that like if they nailed
maybe
us
it's fair
for
use. Maybe it's fair use.
Like I actually would be kind of honored and flattered if like you know they were like that's too close to Corey Hart. No.
I don't think we have to worry.
Yeah. Anyways. No, I don't think they have to worry at all. Honey Badger don't care.
Jay Reese says play Milli Vanilli.
What was the Milli Vanilli song?
I don't remember.
Booted?
I don't remember. You were talking about it last week.
I know we were talking about it on Thursday, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, on Thursday.
It was the one that like the track skipped. And I only know the one part. I only know
when it
the
started
part that
skipping,
skips.
did they just slink off stage?
Dude, they literally ran off stage. You can find the video.
I gotta see the video.
It's
such
really
a glorious
funny.
moment from the 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
It would have been like the early 90s.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I've lost it. Hang on.
Chris Cap says nice record fade with the mic, John.
Oh, thanks, Chris. That means a lot coming from you, Chris, because you're a music guy. So
Good.
Here's looking at you. Man, I really want to find this Milli Vanilli song now.
Yeah. Let's let him go. Let's find it on the way to sushi.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll do it.
We won't make them suffer through us searching for a
Just
song.
wait.
Besides, if we play it, we might get a copyright strike.
Just pure silence.
Crickets.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will be back again, not this Thursday, but we will be back on Sunday, where we will air our amazing interview with David Thibodeau, one of the survivors of Waco, and we had an amazing time with him. David is a really sweetheart of a guy,
Yeah, he's
and he
awesome,
has some
man.
really, really powerful things to say. I'm really impressed with him, man. Of just like, dude, if I had gone through something like that, I don't think I could be in that healthy of a place that he's in. Honestly.
And if you're a patron, you're going to see, I'm going to upload the full interview, including the exclusive. That's going to happen probably tomorrow morning, maybe tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have that up on the Patreon for you guys to watch, so you guys can be prepared.
Girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's. You should just end it. That was the.
Is that what it is? Blame it on the rain.
Yeah,
Blame it on the rain.
Jay Reese saved us there. Girl, you know it's
Thank
true.
you.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
It's Lucifer.
And I'm Nick.
I'm your huckleberry.
And we are the Goslings. Go forth
And strike down the darkness.
a vertical punch.